NFL Week 8 here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and it is Monday after NFL Week 7, and we're doing our usual Monday call with John Ryan, where we take a look back at the past weekend, and we take a look ahead to the Thursday NFL game. This Thursday, it's going to be Tampa Bay at Minnesota. John, thanks for coming back.
My pleasure as always, Peter.
All right, well, I personally, full disclosure, I had a freaking awesome weekend. Coming to work today, I'm hearing that the books had a terrible weekend. How was your weekend?
My weekend was mediocre. I did have a top-rated 30-star play win with the Jacksonville Jaguars of all teams. I actually thought they would win the game. I was wrong there, but yeah, at the end of the day, who cares? They covered against Oakland, and that's all that matters.
That line went up. That was like at 4, and then it went to 6.
Yeah, it was working against. I was going in the wrong direction, which was good for us.
Yeah.
You know, I like those type of trends when I do have a big play that everybody is against me.
Sure.
Not that they're, they know who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the
I
flows
understand.
are going in my favor.
All right, so how'd you do in your thread at SBR?
The thread was a loss net on the day.
Okay.
We had New England as a big play, and they didn't do so hot. They had the spread covered, but then Sanchez looked like Sanchez. I have to tip my hat to him. He made some incredible throws when it really mattered most, and he had his team in position to win. If it wasn't for the poor calling by the Jets defense is what allowed New England to tie it up and then win it in overtime.
All right, well, how are you doing overall in the thread on the year?
Overall, the thread right now is a little bit down, modestly. One good week will bring it back up. Surprisingly, I have had 18 years of doing this, and I am known by playing dogs. So you would think that this would be my golden year. And unfortunately, for some reason, I'm not getting enough of the dogs, or I actually had one week where there was only 2 dogs that did not cover, and I actually had both of them. So I think last year was so good. I think the football betting guys are just taking a little bit back from the success of last year. But I think the second half of the NFL is going to be just fine. So
yeah,
we'll just keep rolling along here.
We'll see. Well, I'll tell you, one game I'm liking this week, we won't talk about. That's what we're going to talk about here is Miami. That's got to be the play of the week for me over the Jets. But right now we're going to talk about the Thursday night game, Tampa Bay at Minnesota. Now this is kind of an interesting line. Minnesota's 6.5-point favorite. Obviously Minnesota, great year, great team this year. Legitimately, Adrian Peterson, their pass rush is awesome. Their offense is effective, and even when Christian Ponder doesn't play well, they usually have other factors that come in to get them wins, which is what happened last week. 6.5 points, though, on a Thursday night game. It's a tough one. Minnesota's not had a bye yet. Tampa Bay is their 3rd game off of a bye, and they just got a close loss to New Orleans. So I'm thinking, I actually teased Minnesota last week, and that wound up being a winner. I'm thinking Minnesota might be good on a tease here. I kind of like them here in general, but I don't think I would bet them at -6.5. What do you take? What do you think about these lines?
I think the teaser is a great idea, Peter. I think teasing Minnesota and then finding another play to go along with it, maybe even the under in this game would be a consideration. But I like teasing Minnesota. Personally, my initial work here shows that Minnesota will have a high probability of winning this game by double digits. As you mentioned, this line appears to be high. Kind of surprising. Tampa Bay is a very good 2-4 team.
Yeah.
They've actually outscored their opponents by 12 points. And this is they're in the corner now. They're in a must-win situation. The one thing that I will say that works against Tampa Bay in a big way is that Minnesota has a very strong running game, as we all know. The simulator projects that Minnesota will gain 150 or more rushing yards in this game. In past games where the Tampa Bay defense has allowed 150 or more rushing yards, they're 0-1 this year. 1-14 against the number the past 3 seasons, and 9-52 against the spread since 1992. And I think it's very reasonable that Minnesota's game plan is obviously going to be attack between the tackles. That sets up the play action passes we see just about every single NFL team do these days. And I also believe that Tampa Bay will struggle to run the ball. I don't see them getting anywhere close to 100 yards. And, of course, the passing game is suspect. So Minnesota is a very real team, and I think they win this game going away.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think the line is like too high. I just think it's very close to being dead on. I see this game actually being a lot like Minnesota's last game against Arizona, where they won 21-14. The under was a good bet. The tease was a good bet, and Minnesota minus the points was a good bet if you played it right. But it was very, very close. Yeah, I agree with you. So, what's your official pick on this one? Minnesota minus 6.5.
Yeah, I like Minnesota minus 6.5.
All right, thanks, John.
Now.
Great analysis, and
I
we
think
will
the
talk.
line will probably go up.
Okay, great. Thanks, John. Great analysis. We'll talk to you again next week.